Welcome to the Hoop First Podcast here with another prospect spotlight with 2026 6'7" Roman Catholic Philly Pride wing, Sammy Jackson. Sammy, how are we feeling today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Man, it's been a busy week, but I'm excited for the circuit finales here coming up. So just getting ready for that travel. So let's get right into it. We're going to go through the warm up first, and then we'll kind of get to more of the meat and potato questions. So, what's your favorite sports drink?
Definitely Gatorade.
Any specific flavor?
Uh, Fruit punch.
Okay. PS5, Xbox, or PC?
PS5.
Okay. Any specific game you're rocking?
2K Madden.
Who you play with on those teams? I gotta ask you that.
2K. I play with the Sixers or the Timberwolves.
Okay. Local guys, Madden.
Yeah. The Bills.
Hey, I like to hear it. I'm from Rochester originally, so that's my team. All right. So what's the best basketball shoe and the best non-hooping shoe?
Best basketball. Probably Kobe's for the best basketball shoes. Non-hooping shoe. Um, and I wear slides a lot. It's probably like Uggs.
Keeping it basic. I got you. What's your favorite meal? So like entree, appetizer, dessert, drink, all that.
Um, Favorite meal. Probably pizza.
Any particular kind of pizza?
Cheese, pepperoni doesn't really matter.
Okay. Keeping it basic. I like it. What's your favorite basketball environment? Like your favorite place to play other than your home court for high school?
Um, Favorite place. Probably the Palestra in
Okay.
Philly, the University of Penn, in a great atmosphere.
Yeah. You guys have your playoff games out there, right?
Yeah, for the semis and the championship.
Perfect. Okay. Tell me about your first dunk.
First dunk. First dunk. It was after practice for Roman. I don't know. I was just feeling good that day, and it just came out of nowhere.
Okay. Was that last year?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Gotcha. All right, so we're gonna kind of get into, what started you in the game, strengths and weaknesses, stuff like that. Let's start with the basics with your family. Your father played professional basketball and he works in basketball now. What is the best piece of advice that he's given to you about your basketball journey?
Just not to focus on like people that are trying to hold you back or aren't gonna people that aren't gonna benefit you. Like just not to listen to all the hate criticism that I know I'm gonna get, just to just keep my head down and keep going forward.
Okay. So he played, quite a bit himself. Does your mom play and the rest of your family play as well?
No, my mom played tennis.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom's not a she's not, well, she knows basketball, but she's mostly tennis.
Do you play her in tennis at all?
Used to. I don't play her anymore.
She get the best of you most of the time?
Yeah.
There you go. I got you. All right. So who do you model your game after? Anyone specific?
Um, I watched a lot of Luca growing up. Just knowing I'm not the fastest one, just me being able to use like my IQ and using skill to outsmart people.
Okay. That leads perfectly into our self-scout portion. So I want you to tell the people what some of your strengths are and what are some of the weaknesses are in your game that you got to work on.
Some of my strengths is definitely shooting, shooting, ball handling, it's being able to handle the ball and like pressure situations, and just being that for AU, that primary point guard, and Roman just being that guard that's always available. Um, Weaknesses definitely could I could always work on my defense. I could always get better at that. Like no matter how good of a defender I think I am, I feel like I could always be better.
Mhm. Yeah, I think you hit it on the head for the most part. I think that you can eventually be a really good defender if you really kind of get like the foot speed up. I think if you're able to body up a little bit physically, kind of put on some more weight in your last 2 years of high school going into college. Um, and I think just kind of like Luca's interesting because he has that like shifty burst where like he'll hesitate for 1 second and then get by you, but he's not super explosive. And I think once you get to kind of that change of speed, change of tempo with your ball handling to lead into the drives, I think some of that stuff will be a bit more successful. So, Talk about your family's, your circle's kind of approach to recruiting, in this process and what kind of makes it unique.
Um, just probably the not posting offers is probably what sticks out to people most, and that's comes from my dad. He doesn't want us to. He doesn't want us to post these offers and just distract us, kind of, I guess, and just know that we're gonna go to whatever school's best for us. Just posting offers is great. My dad doesn't really agree with it, but it's just he feels like that we should be able to go to whichever school wants us the most. And yeah,
I think it's interesting that, that I spoke with him a little bit in the social media, hype game can be a lot for a teenager to manage. But I thought the interesting part, that he talked about was that it also kind of makes the schools that are recruiting you narrow their focus a bit. Because in my interactions with college coaches, a lot of the time they ask who else is involved, who else is offered, and if that's not public knowledge, it puts them on the line a little bit more to pay a bit more attention and kind of do their homework with that stuff. So it is an interesting approach, unique for sure, but I think it's working out. How do you prepare, each for each game day, like the day of? Kind of take me through your preparation, your routine.
definitely eating well, eating a great breakfast, and just staying stretching. Stretching is like very important because a couple years ago I had a bad injury with my hamstring, and ever since then, like I wasn't really worried about stretching, but like ever since then, it really just woke me up on how I need to be prepared, like stretching, make sure that my body's great before just going straight into a game.
Okay. Talk about the difference in your role between your high school team or the AAU team, or if you don't think there is much of a difference, kind of speak on that.
Well, a common between the two for sure is being versatile. Like for Roman last year, I needed to play the one sometimes, or sometimes when my brother would go down, I needed to play the five, and just being able to be versatile and play whatever role is needed. And for AU, being that primary scorer on the team, playing point guard for that team, and well, whatever is really needed, but mostly the point guard role is what I play for AAU, and being the primary scorer or primary option.
Mhm. What led to you guys choosing Roman, and kind of talk about the experience of playing with your brothers?
It's definitely great. Well, that's like what led up to it is we always knew we were going to Roman. So I'm from Tampa. So ever since I was born, I always knew that I was coming to Roman. How I didn't know how or when it was going to happen, but until we moved here, like we always knew that we were coming to Roman. And just because my dad went to Roman, and just my older brother went, and I was next, and my little brother's gonna come after me. Well, my senior year he'll be a freshman, but that's what really led up to us choosing Roman.
Okay. How was it playing with your brothers?
It's fun. I haven't really played with my younger brother at all yet. I got
Okay.
to play with Reef, my older brother. I always play with him in AU. Always played up, and just playing with him at Roman's great. Feel like we have a great chemistry.
That can work for or against you. I got two brothers, and sometimes it's good times, and then other times we need to be
Yeah, for sure.
separated. So I feel that. Talk about a time that you faced adversity and some tools that you used to navigate through that.
Facing adversity, definitely as a team for Roman when my brother went down last year, and it was kind of like a very like one of the worst times for him to go down because right as we were getting into our league play, and we weren't really like we were kind of stuck. Like our first game, well, the game that he got hurt, it was like fourth quarter tie game. Reef goes down, and we were really looking around like we we never really thought this would happen. So facing adversity in that was a big thing. Just getting put right in and having to after that game having to learn what Reef did. How can I make up for it? How can I do more? And when Reef came back, just adjusting, everybody going back to what role was needed. Because when he went down, everybody needed to do a little bit more.
Mhm. Okay. Tell me about your gym schedule. What parts of your game do you feel like you've been working on the most, and what have you added, the most since the end of the high school season?
Definitely shooting. Shooting's always been one of my strengths since as long as I've been playing. And shooting and ball handling definitely always been. my strength because I just got my growth spurt. So I was never really one of the tallest kids. So I was always like a little chubby point guard, and I always had to knew how to dribble, pass, shoot. And something that I've been adding, well, probably just getting my shot better and just trying to perfect it to the best way I can.
As a shooter, what type of actions are you the most comfortable in as far as curls, fades, staggers,
Um,
downs?
on the ball or off the ball, like staggers also help, and down screens like curls or being able to like play out of it, curling, popping, or stepping behind the screen if I'm getting overplayed.
What's your weakest kind of action there that you've been working on the most this summer?
Off the dribble for sure
Okay.
is something that I've been working on, and I've been getting a lot better at it. But that's always been something that I was never really great at,
Mhm.
but just improving on it.
Okay. So this one's a two-parter. What do you do that makes you stand out from the competition, and how do you think you'll contribute to winning at the next level?
Being versatile is definitely something that I feel like I stand out in, and being able to handle the ball and play that point guard role is definitely something that makes me stand out a lot in my shooting ability. That helps you stand out,
Okay.
and something that I feel like could add to the next level is being versatile, like doing whatever is really needed and doing whatever's needed to help my team win. I feel like I have the tools to do that.
I can tell you right now, if you're trying to earn minutes to the next level, the defense is the way to do it. It's really hard to keep a guy off the floor that's really trying hard, competing, and doing all the little stuff. So that's good to hear. Tell me a part of your game that you feel like kind of flies under the radar or is undervalued.
Defense, most definitely,
Mhm.
because I was never a really great defender until really last year. Just a big shout out to my high school coach. He was really on me about defending. Like that was really one of like if I couldn't defend, it doesn't matter how good I was offensively. If I couldn't defend at all, I wasn't really gonna see the court a lot. But that's something I feel like is under the radar, is being able to guard the other team's best player whenever it's needed, no matter what position, really, and just being able to be versatile, guard whoever's needed to guard.
Okay. What parts of the floor, like physical spots in the floor, so slot, wing, corner, top of the key, mid-range elbow, what parts of the floor do you feel the most comfortable right now, and what parts do you feel the least comfortable?
Slot in the wing, not really slot, the wing and the top of the key, two most comfortable spots because there's more room to create for my teammates or create shots for me, really. And something that well, spots that I can improve on is definitely like that slot, like gray area.
Mhm.
I feel like that's just an awkward spot for anybody, but I feel like if I can improve on that, it'll be great.
As a player, I always hated the short corner. Like when we're in transition, I get the ball in the short corner. I can't use the glass, and it's
Yeah.
just awkward to get that one dribble off. So that would be it for me. All right. So rank these three in matter of importance to you. So game winning assist, game winning bucket, game winning defensive stop. What's the most important to you? And then kind of work your way backward there.
Most important is definitely game winning stop. And then second, probably game winning bucket and then game winning assist.
Okay. So let's talk about, who you are on and off the court, as a person and as well as a basketball player. What are some things that you value? Is it honesty? Is it respect? Is it, people holding you accountable? Is it direct communication? Is it, coaches kind of letting you work through stuff, leading by example, vocal leadership? What are some things that matter to you?
On the court, definitely being a leader and being that voice. Because I remember my freshman year at Roman just looking up to other guys and just them talking to me and explaining to me, like, say I didn't know a drill, like they would talk me through it, or say I didn't know a play, they would talk me through it. And I was just kind of as I'm going to becoming an upperclassman, it's just my turn to play that leadership role and just help the young guys. I remember when I was in that spot. Off the court, definitely being the best version of myself, like just making great decisions and knowing I'm being held accountable by my mom, my dad, and just the people around me.
Okay. So we're starting to get to the point where we're, looking at, colleges and kind of starting to think about where you really want to go, where you're narrowing it down. We don't really want to go into too much detail, but talk about some criteria for you as far as, big school, small school, East Coast, close to home, far away, fast-paced offense, slow, kind of methodical defense approach? What type of coaching style works with you as far as, a coach that really stays on you versus a coach that kind of lets you rock? What do you think are some things that you'll be looking for when you do make that decision?
Well, when it's time to make that decision, I feel like it would be whatever, like it's all around what's the best fit for me. And a hard coach is something that I've always been used to. So I wouldn't really be like, I don't know, I always feel awkward knowing that like the coach isn't going to yell at me or coach is going to let me do whatever I want. Whatever school lets me play multiple roles. Like
Mhm.
I'm okay with playing a role, but knowing that I'm able to do multiple things and just say, "Oh, you're stuck. You can just play the two. You can just catch and shoot." Or if you needed to play the one, play the three, play the four. It's whatever. If I'm able to be versatile, it's a great fit.
Play style works for your game the most as far as like offense, defense, stuff like that?
Definitely fast tempo on offense, getting the ball out the rim, pushing it. Not really playing slow. Defensively, man or zone. I'm used to both. So man or zone really.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so tell me about some of your interests and hobbies off the court. And then kind of the second part of that question, if basketball didn't work out for you, God forbid your career ended tomorrow, what would your plan B be?
Definitely. I've always wanted to be a doctor. Like I just found being a doctor interesting, and that's just something that I know is kind of generic, but just or real estate. Learning from my mom. That's what my mom does. So real estate something that's always been an interest to me, and definitely learning a lot about it is a
Okay,
great interest or great hobby too.
okay, got you. Give me some of your goals for this upcoming season, end of AAU season going into high school.
AU season definitely first get to Under Armour Nationals and to win it probably be the best goal to finish off AAU. And going back in the Roman season is to win another PCL championship and win states. My overall goal for Roman is to win all 4 years of the PCL championship. And I feel like it's possible for sure.
Hmm. Got a good start, two for two so far.
Yeah.
What has been your happiest moment on a basketball court so far?
Happiest moment. Probably after probably after last year. Just the game, even though I was the one shooting it, but just knowing my teammate Cabe, everything he went through last year, he tore both his ACLs, came back and hit that shot. It was just really big for him, and it made me happy. I was just super happy for him.
Hmm. Got you. Okay. Two more questions that will get you out of here. Really appreciate your time. What sets Philly basketball apart, from the rest of the country? What makes it unique?
I feel like it's a lot of like grit and toughness. That's what separates it a lot for sure. Like compared to other places I played at, like Florida, DMV, it's just I feel like there's a tougher, more grit aspect that people like, oh, they're from Philly, like they know they're gonna be tough, know they're gonna play hard, know that they're gonna give it their all.
That's why I love seeing, teams from my area, the DMV, come up and play Philly or vice versa. It's always a battle. Last question, man. What is your why? Why do you work so hard to this game? Why do you make the sacrifices that you make? What makes it so important to you? What is your why?
My why definitely trying to get to the overall goal of being an NBA or Division One, getting a free education for college, not having to focus on my mom and dad having to pay for my college. And that's definitely my another why is my grandfather who passed away. He was always there for me, came to every single game, and I just feel like I just do now. My focus is doing everything for him and whatever. I know he will want me to work hard. He always wanted me to work hard. Always wanted me to be the best version of myself, like on and off the court. So doing everything for him for sure.
I'm sure he was very proud of you. Really appreciate that, man. Thanks for the time. Looking forward to watching you this upcoming weekend as well as the rest of your career. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.